Wondering if you're on track for a solid financial future? If you're just stepping into adulthood, you may be worried about your job and student loan debt, and not so much about your financial future. Fortunately, with a little planning, you can secure your tomorrow and live well today. You're here, and what brought you here is a question we all come to reach a certain point in our lives. What's the average net worth by age? As we grow, thoughts about our finances, how to build for a wealthier future, and how our finances compare to our peers may all be questions that come to mind. So what's the average net worth of Americans, and what does the average wealth by age mean for you? First, let's define net worth and how this is an important factor that plays a role in the bigger picture. Net worth is cumulative, not annual. It's the total value of assets you've acquired up to that point. It includes any cash in your bank account, any investments in a brokerage or retirement account, and any real estate you own, regardless of how long you acquire these assets. One good benchmark is your current net worth, which is roughly calculated by adding up all your cash and other assets and subtracting your debts. Don't worry about keeping up with your buddies on this crucial matter. Instead, learn the net worth targets you should hit at each age. In other words, net worth is the value of assets owned after all of your debts or liabilities are subtracted. Your net worth is an indicator that can help you determine the overall health of your financial position and whether or not your finances are in good shape. When your net worth increases, this is a good indicator that your financial situation is positive and in great health. However, when your net worth decreases, this can be a negative signal that your liabilities have grown relative to your assets. Although net worth is a good tool to use to determine your financial condition, it's also not inflexible. When comparing your net worth and where your land stands with your peers, it can feel intimidating or like you're far behind. However, it's important to note that net worth has the potential to decrease or increase and is something that constantly changes over time. In addition, as you get older, your net worth typically increases as you may own more assets and few liabilities. Learning how to invest in stocks can contribute to the growth of your net worth over time. However, we will cover how to increase your net worth a little later. Let's move on to the average net worth of Americans. For reference, here's an in-depth breakdown of where you should aim to be when it comes to net worth goals by age and percentages of income to have saved. In your 20s, try not to worry too much about your current net worth when you're just starting. If you're coming out of college with student loans, it may very well be negative. Instead, focus on building your net worth. You should start as soon as you have your first job. Most companies offer a retirement savings plan, a 401k, or a 403b. If you don't have access to these types of retirement plans, you can save on your own with a Roth IRA. The beauty of these retirement accounts is that once your money is transferred from your paycheck into your savings account, it can grow and compound until you withdraw the funds for retirement. Your best bet is to set up an automatic transfer of at least 6% of your salary into your retirement account. Next, shoot for your first net worth target at age 30. Net worth at age 30. By age 30, your goal is to have an amount equal to half your salary stored in your retirement account. If you're making $60,000 in your 20s, strive for a $30,000 net worth by age 30. That milestone is possible through savings and investment. Let's say you start investing $3,466 each year. That's $288 per month, starting at the age of 23. If your investment account earns 7% annually, you'll reach a $30,000 net worth by age 30. If that sounds overwhelming, or you're getting a late start with your career, don't worry. These are savings guidelines, not rules etched in stone. Net worth at the age of 40. By age 40, your goal is to have a net worth of 2 times your annual salary. So if your salary edges up to $80,000 in your 30s, then by age 40, you should strive for a net worth of $160,000. Additionally, it's not just contributing to retirement that helps you build your net worth. You can increase that number in other ways too. For instance, owning real estate is another path to growing your net worth. Similar to other types of financial assets, real estate values appreciate over the years. Ultimately, the benefit of investing in real estate is that your small down payment grows exponentially as the home value increases. Net worth at age 50. By age 50, your goal is to have a net worth of 4 times your annual salary. If you're earning $100,000 in your 40s, then your net worth target at the age of 50 is $400,000. This might sound like a lot, but by starting to save and invest early in adulthood, time will work its compounding magic. And if you start later, try to save more aggressively. In your 40s, you might have children growing up and heading off to college. Don't neglect your retirement savings in favor of your children. Instead, encourage your children to work and cover some of their expenses. And if you're falling behind on your money goals, try finding a side hustle to boost your income. Net worth at age 60. By age 60, you'll be on track with a net worth of 6 times your annual salary. If your salary is in the $100,000 to $160,000 range, then multiply that amount by 6, and that's your net worth target. At this point, your net worth benchmarks are dependent on what your retirement needs are going to be. Depending on where you live and your lifestyle, those needs will vary. A common rule of thumb is to replace 15% of your pre-tax working income in retirement throughout your life. If your retirement dreams are grand and include exotic travels, you might need more. Alternatively, if you are seeking a quiet retirement in an affordable community, then you may need less. Finally, if you want to retire earlier, then you'll need a large net worth than those looking to work until they're 70 or older. The survey of consumer finances takes into account the different characteristics that play a role in the wealth gap or lack of the distribution of wealth across groups, which affect the average net worth. Some of these factors impacting access to wealth and therefore affect the average net worth, including education, racial or ethical background, urbanicity, and housing status. These factors impact the differences in access to income and are stark in wealth across groups. As stated earlier, net worth typically increases as you get older. However, with age also comes the possibility of retirement. This means that as you near retirement or graduate to an older age group, your net worth can humbly decline due to increased spending or pulling from your retirement savings once retired. Lastly, an important thing to note is that we must also consider the median net worth when looking at the average net worth among Americans. The median net worth allows for a better representation of the everyday person. This is because when calculating the average net worth, wealthy households tend to move this upward number, which is not a full representation of the average person. So what is median net worth, and how does this differ from the average net worth? Share your thoughts with us in the comment section. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe as well.